Hello, my name is Philip Totaro. I'm the founder and CEO of market research firm IntelStor. Welcome to your weekly dose of truth to power. Truth to Power examines data driven insights for the energy sector with a focus on renewables. On this week's episode, I will continue our analysis of the future of the renewable energy market globally by looking at our power generation forecasts and the impact of public finance on renewable energy adoption rates. Before I dive into the analysis this week, I wanted to address a few questions we got regarding our research methodology. Global energy market analysis requires obtaining data from multiple sources, including governments and energy ministries, as well as non governmental agencies around the world. IntelStor tracks capacity installed and power generation by fuel type, as well as public investment in various technologies by fuel type and feed in tariffs based on available data. Now, any data obtained from public sources has been verified by IntelStor through a rigorous process of data validation. This includes using satellite imagery to confirm the installation of a power generation facility and confirmation of the size, output, the OEM equipment in use, identification of the project developer, owner, operator, as well as commercially important data such as the capital cost to construct the project, the power purchase agreement price at which the power is sold, operations and maintenance costs, etc. Now, this forecast was developed by looking at the pipeline of actual projects in development that differs from other companies that use an economic based model. The expected online date of new facilities is reflected in the time horizon. We believe this results in a more accurate picture of the expected power generation capacity additions compared to those economic based growth models. Verifiable accuracy of IntelStor forecasts is within plus or minus 10% of the actual reported data. So, with that in mind, let's dive in. Last week, I shared the market share and capacity data for the global renewable energy markets. This week, we'll focus on generation, capacity factors, as well as some of the financials around various renewable energy sources. All renewable energy sources combined generate over 10.7 petawatt hours of power as of the end of 2025. By 2030, that will be close to 13 petawatt hours per year, which is an increase of more than 22.5%. In 2025, capacity factors ranged from 11.26% for marine energy, that includes ocean current and tidal, up to a global average of 54.56% for geothermal. Despite being inexpensive from a capital standpoint, solar PV only boasts a 14.87% capacity factor globally, and onshore wind saw a global average of 24.23% capacity factor. Waste, biogas, hydropower, and solid biofuels complete the top 5 performers, just below geothermal, as I mentioned before. Hydropower has largely remained stable over the years at between 40 and 42% capacity factor. The cost competitiveness of renewable energy sources compared to fossil fuels indicates that despite more recent price hikes, the spike in natural gas and petroleum prices that we saw back in 2022 paved the way for onshore wind and solar PV to remain consistently below the global market average for natural gas. Beating coal on a parity cost still eludes all forms of renewable energy on a global average basis, but there are some specific markets where you've seen renewable energy take on coal head to head and win. The power markets in China that ensure cost parity between onshore wind, solar PV, and coal have paved the way for substantial capacity additions in the past 5 years since they adopted that policy. Interestingly, hydropower is now more expensive than it was 15 years ago due to aging fleets of turbine equipment and a desire to preserve water resources for drinking and plumbing instead of using it for power generation. Now, looking purely at financials and public investment, more than $529 billion in public funding has been spent on the global power generation sector in the past 25 years. Of that, 396.6 billion, or basically about 75%, has been spent on renewables. After a dip in 2020 due to public funding being diverted for COVID response, there has been a surge in annual spending to more than $24.8 billion in the most recently reported data. Solar PV, biogas, and onshore wind are the most capital efficient renewable power sources. Capital efficiency basically means how much public money is being spent versus capacity installed. Meanwhile, concentrated solar, geothermal, and solid biofuels are the least capital efficient renewable power sources. For every megawatt installed, about 7,000 US dollars in public finance was spent on solar PV capacity additions as a global average. Compare that to $588,000 per installed megawatt in public finance that was spent on solid biofuels. There are some enormous disparities between technologies in terms of the capital efficiency, as well as many instances like almost any of the technologies in Africa where money has been spent on investigating the viability of renewable energy technology, but it did not result in meaningful technology deployment and capacity additions. Nevertheless, the world is firmly poised to continue the trend of replacing fossil fuels in the power generation mix. While some speed bumps have been encountered along the way that have slowed down the pace of adoption in some cases, the overall power generation market is shifting away from consuming fossil fuels to leveraging renewable energy sources. Last year saw a major milestone, which is renewables overtook non renewables in the power generation sector. And if current trends continue, 100% renewables in the power generation industry can be achieved globally by 2050. Thank you for joining me this week. I'm Philip Totaro, and this has been your weekly dose of truth to power. We still have much more to come from this IntelStor exclusive report, The Future of Renewables, next time on Truth to Power. In the meantime, please follow us on IntelStor's YouTube channel, as well as your favorite audio platforms. And visit www.intelstore.com to join more than 250,000 subscribers to our renewable energy data solutions. We're adding subscribers faster than ever, so please don't miss out. Register today. A full analysis of the global renewable energy market is available to online subscribers of this new exclusive IntelStor report, The Future of Renewables. And don't forget to register today for the next Wind Summit event in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Visit www.windsummit.org and join hundreds of your industry colleagues to discuss all the latest trends in operations and maintenance. We hope to see you there.